Hi guys, Kim here, design team member with Swirly Does Kit Club. What I've got to you today is a tutorial on this wooden plaque, and it's going to be using some of the ice resin from the December project kit and some of the Prima IOD molds. Actually, I've used a couple of different molds for the pieces that are on here. They aren't the ones that came in the kit, but the resin did come in the kit. For parts of this, I used the Nautica 2 mold, and we're using these two pieces here. And I also use the keyhole molds. This one is a lot of fun, and we're using this large keyhole here. So if you can get your hands on some of these molds, or if you can get the December project kit, which there may still be some available in the store, you'll have another mold in there, but you will have the ice resins, what I'm actually using, and that's what I use to make these molds. So we're going to make this kit, this project, and what we're going to do is decorate it. And I've also used some items from past Swirly Do's kits and things that you can find in the store. What I did was I went ahead and pre-painted the wooden plaque, but the other pieces have not been adhered yet, so we're going to go ahead and adhere that, add some more things to it, go over with some gesso, and then what we're going to do is we're going to color it with some acrylic paints and some of these paints we've gotten in past Swirly Do's kit, and we're going to also use some of the mica powders. I'm using both Opal Magic paints and Opal Magic mica powders, and I'm also going to be adding some Memory Hardware artisan powder, which we just got in a past kit as well, to color this. And I'm also going to be using some of the 3D balls from Pint Art that we got in our December mixed medium kit. So a lot of this stuff is all still from Swirly Do's that you will be able to find in the store if you're interested. Alright, so first things first, I'm actually going to put down some more texture on here. Again, like I said, I just went on ahead and painted this. I did all the sides. Probably took about 2 coats of gesso to get it completely covered. The back, I just left plain. And this is just a wood plank that I had in my stash. What I'm taking here is some Art Extravagance texture paint in white crackle. And I'm just randomly adding some on here just to give my wood piece a little extra texture. Alright, so it's just on there randomly. You can see it. It's just some added texture. No rhyme or reason. Now my next step is I'm going to use some 3D gloss gel to adhere my pieces. And I need my gloss gel. Okay. And I'm using 3D gloss gel because it dries clear. And so I'm just going to go ahead Alright, and so we're going to go ahead and add our last piece. Okay, so this is what you saw in the beginning, and so now we're going to go next to adding some art stones and some mini art, well, these 3D balls and some art stones. And when using these, what I like to do is just pour some into a cup and same thing with my mini art stones. Just pour some into our art stones. Just going to take some 3D gloss gel, some art stones, stones now. So now our next step is, well, we really can't dry this right now because what will happen is your resins, your ice resin will soften. I mean, we can do a little bit of a blow by to just heat some of that, to dry some of that gel, but we can't do a whole lot of heating on this just because of the resins. So to just try and speed things up a little bit, we'll just do a quick blow. That's enough for now. And while we're waiting for it to dry a little bit more, it's a little tacky now, so we should be able to, as long as pieces aren't moving, that's what your whole goal is, because now we've got to go back over the resin pieces and the art pebbles and the art stones and things with our paints and our mica powders. Well, actually with our gesso first. And so while we're waiting for that to dry, why don't we go ahead and get our mica powders ready. The mica powders I've chosen are Lilac Opal, Gold Opal Magic, and Blue Opal Magic. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a scoop of each one of these into a tray, and I'm going to add water to them. So I'm just going to kind of use them as a paint kind of thing as opposed to a mist. I'm using are also the Opal Magics. I've got Violet Gold, Blue Gold, and Rose Gold. You see that? That's the Rose Gold. That's the Blue Gold and the Violet Gold. So we've got kind of a gold theme going on here. So those are the colors that we're going to be using. All right, let's see if we can get this painted. All right, we're going to go back to the gesso. And we're just going to cover what needs to be covered. And that's just the stuff that we just adhered to this. I always have trouble with my gesso. Okay, here we go. All right. So our piece has been gessoed again. Now everything's all covered. Or at least I thought it was. There's a couple little small ones. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of a smaller brush and get those little smaller spots. From a distance, I'm going to add just a little bit of heat to this. Again, I don't want to melt my resin pieces, and when you heat these, they do get a little soft and pliable. So I'm just going to go over lightly and from a distance, just to try and speed up the drying process of the gesso. Not that it takes that long. A lot of it's dry. While that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and mix some of the mix up some of the mica powders. And I'm just using water from my mist. Now we are ready to get started. What I'm going to do is, oh, sorry about my big head. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start to paint. So now I am covered with my gold for as much as I'm going to cover. And so far, I'm very happy with it. But it looks like I'm having a problem with my little top piece, so I'm going to have to go in and do a little bit more gloss gel because we've come off. We got to make sure I've got to add my colors set or dry before I go to the next level. I don't like them running together and getting muddy. So me holding this will give the other pieces a chance to dry. But if you want to see how it looks so far, this is where we're at. You can see the gold. Really liking the gold. And I just want to add some other colors to it just to bring out some of the details. So mix these up, we're going to start with some of the lilac. And this is a little thinner than the gold was that I used to paint. And now I'm just a lot thinner. A paper towel here. And I'm just going in again. Is the iridescent colors. So you'll see that little bit of glimmer. Now I want this to dry so I can go back with another color. Meantime, I'm going to check on that piece to make sure it's alright. My brush again. And I'm going to go lightly over it. Blue matte Opal Magic. Again, not really getting a lot of color, just more of that iridescent look. Alright, there's more shimmer. You've got lots of shimmer with this. Alright, now I'm going to go in with some of the paints, the Art Alchemy paints. And I'm not even going to use a brush. Oh, I don't want this color. What color is this? Oh, yes, I do. This is the violet gold. I'm not even going to use a brush. I'm just going to take some with my finger because you really don't want a lot. And where I brushed with the Lilac Opal Magic, I'm also going to brush now with some of the violet gold. Next up, I'm going to be using the Opal Magic blue gold. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to hit some of those spots. Alright, so now we've added some micro beads to it. Not dry, but this is our little plaque. No rhyme or reason, I just wanted to do a little plaque and figured I'd take you along on my little journey. So this is our plaque using Opal Magic mica powder and Art Alchemy Opal Magic paints and Ice Resin and products from Swirly Doos. So this has been Kim for Swirly Doos Kit Club. Thanks for watching. If you've liked what you've seen here, please stop by our forums. We have lots of tips and tricks and tutorials. And please take a look at our monthly kits. We have a main kit and lots of add-ons. If you like what you see there, then click on the top where it says Join Our Club. If you do decide to join, mention my name, Kim. You'll get 10% off of your first kit and a coupon for 30% off the store where you can buy a lot of the projects that I've used in today's tutorial. So, again, thanks for stopping by. And next we're going to grab some rose gold, and I'm going to go over some of the, grab a white here. I'm going to go over some of my art pebbles, so those will stand out a little bit. And I'm going to grab some rose gold to go with those. This a little more depth. We're going to take some of the rosewood artisan powder. It's a little orangey. You know what? This may be a little too orange. To try it out, I'm going to try it out on the back. So I'm going to take my brush. I'll flip this over. And so yeah, I think that's a little too orangey for what I want to do. So we're going to grab another color of the umber. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit better. And we're going to take the little brush of artisan powder. What we're going to go in and do is kind of shadow just go in with your brush and work it around, soften it up. And check out places where you may need to fill in some. But again, it's just about shadowing, just to give this a little more depth. Well, it doesn't look all one color, because we did use a lot of gold on here. So you want to try and add as much texture as you can. I'm going to grab my bigger brush and, like I said, go back in. Soften up as much of that as I can. I may even take it around my my art stones there. My art pebbles. Alright, now for my face, I really want my face to stay gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my gold that I have left. Find my right paintbrush. There it is. And I'm going to give him some more gold. Make sure I covered everything that I wanted to cover. And just remember, again, because we're covering the background in mica powder versus a paint, it's going to be a little transparent. So you're still going to be able to see some of the things through the background if that's the way you want it. If you don't want it to be transparent, then you can always use a paint for your background. But for this, I just chose to do the mica powders. I just wanted to pull out the mica powders and play a little bit. So my background is done. I think the last thing we need to do to this is some micro beads. And since gold seems to be our theme, we're going to add some gold micro beads to it. So I've got some micro beads out, and we'll get our 3D gloss gel out again, and we'll go in and add some micro beads.